Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. And today we are on episode 36. So, our topic for today is From Sacrifices to Freedom, how Poorna created a life of purpose, presence, and possibility through digital business. And our guest today is Poorna Jani. So she will be joining us in a few minutes, but let me first introduce myself. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor. I also want to mention that every Tuesday and every Thursday we have our live webinar. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is register in my website that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and I'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. When you register into my website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. So the first one is to register for the live webinar. That one will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesdays and one for Thursdays, since our live webinars is every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. So the second link that you get there is for the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend the replay of the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch up the replay of the live webinar and watch it from the comfort of your own home. Now, in addition to that, I invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, so I registered to the website um, and I put my name and email address, and register for the live webinar. So what I'm going to see on the webinar. So on the webinar, you're going to find out how our online business plan works. And also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So tonight we have a live webinar. So if you want to register for that one, you just have to register on my website, and then I'll send you the invitation to register for the live webinar. So let's find out who are the hosts and panelists uh, for. Oh, so this is another one. So let me just check for the for tonight's live webinar. Okay, just give me a sec here. Okay. I thought that I had it, but I guess I didn't. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's just uploading. Just give me a sec. Okay, so our host for tonight is Jay. She's a resign educator. And our first panelist is Zainab. She's a stay-at-home mom. We also have Happy, a clinical manager. We have Ryan, a nurse and nurse educator. Anna Maria, a registered nurse. We have Sakinath, a nurse. And we have Mabel, a pediatric oncologist, I guess, registered nurse. Jinat, or a former major at Bangladesh Army. So as you see, we have all different walks of life, um, different ethnicities and ages. So, but they all have something in common, and that is, they decided to take that leap of faith to change their lives and their families' lives. So, if you want to catch up this tonight's live webinar, all you have to do is register in my website that will appear in a few moments, and then you should be able to watch the tonight's live webinar. Now, our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And our replay has subtitles in several languages. All right. So let's go back. So like we mentioned at the beginning, today is episode 30, 30, sorry. Today's episode 36, yes. So from sacrifices to freedom. So how Poorna created a life of purpose, presence, and possibilities through digital business. And our guest today is Poorna Jani. So let me introduce Poorna before I bring her to the studio. So I'm excited to welcome today's amazing guest, Poorna. She's originally from India and now living in Canada for the past 10 years. Poorna has a heart for helping others. She's a trained occupational therapist who has worked with children with special needs and has also served as a teacher here in Canada. So today she has embraced a new path as a full-time digital business owner and mentor, creating impact and flexibility while doing what she loves. So get ready to be inspired by her journey of service growth and transformation. So let's bring Jani to the studio. Purna, sorry. Hi, Purna.
That's okay. I'm good. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good, thank you.
So I know I did a little bit of introduction about you, but would you like to introduce yourself a little bit more so they get to know you a little bit more?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Sandy, for inviting me as a guest. That's my honor. And my name is Poorna. I'm living in Toronto, Canada. As Sandy said, I used to work with children who had special needs as an occupational therapist for many years. And after coming to Canada, Canada gave me another challenge. They did not accept my occupational therapy degree here. So I had to go back to school at the age of 31 again to study, and I literally had to change my career. Initially, I was very upset and I didn't want to because I was whatever I was doing as an occupational therapist. I used to serve children who have special needs. I used to work with those parents. I used to do their counseling as well. That work gave me such a satisfaction because I was working with special needs. Those children are very special for me, and I was really missing them a lot when I moved here. And when I left them, there were no in my city. There were no other occupational therapy. I was the only one who was serving them as a therapist. So it was very hard for them as well, and I felt so bad that I couldn't even continue that work here when I came back. But anyways, life is always challenges, so we have to move forward, and slowly I made my mind to become a teacher. And that's how I started my study to become a teacher. And I was working in a school setting for many years in Canada. But after becoming a mom in 2020, I've realized that it was very hard here to, balance between work and life. And every day was a different challenge. Having a child at home, um, it was hard with the full-time job, juggling with back home it's different, that we are having a lot of support from the family, as well as we have support from the maid and cook and other people that they can help to our chores. Here it's totally different, and that's how I was struggling and realizing that I was not able to give even a 5 minutes quality time to my son. At that time I've realized that I have to do something which I could do from the comfort of my home, with the flexibility, and at the same time I didn't want to sacrifices any financial matter as well. And as a professional, I was always thinking that I wanted to do something which could you know always give me a chance to upgrade myself. And that's how I was trying to find something which I could do at that time. Because the we are Gujarati from India, people who are Gujarati who are very well known for a business. So in the whole world, like Gujaratis, if somebody ask us that, oh, you are Gujarati, oh, that means are you doing a business? But I was not doing that. So we are very famous. It's it's in our blood that people usually Gujarati people, they usually do the business, of course, traditional business.
Mm-hmm.
So we were anyways looking for something which we could, do. Um, I, we can say on our own. So we started looking at traditional businesses here in Canada. But when we started looking those business, we have realized that we need a huge investment to start the business here. Second thing, we need to give a lot of time as well. Weekend, weekdays, long weekend, festivals, we have to be there because we were looking some food business, and food business never stops. It has
Yeah.
it has to open, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah uh, so we realized that it's not feasible at this moment because my son was very young and I was looking something which I could give less time and create more revenue. It can generate more revenue because there is no point if I am out again for 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours a day. We never know. When the business is new, we have to maybe give more time, more energy, and those things. And I'm like, no, this is not something which we want to do. And then we started looking something else. And I'm so grateful today that I found digital business online on the social media, and I took a leap of faith, and I'm here today in front of you.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, and I'm pretty sure a lot of immigrants, will relate to your story. Like they come to this, to other countries, for a better future. And when they get to those countries, so many times, they're not able to continue their profession, because it's not recognized. So you have to start from zero. Or some of them, they just change to a different thing. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, it's hard. But I'm happy that you find a way to be able, not the same, but at least kind of like in the same of your career. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was pretty
Okay.
close because
Hmm.
when I was working in school, I was working with children who have special needs and without special needs. So,
Hmm.
of course, the work was very different, but at least I was having initially that satisfaction that, okay, I'm back to my, whatever I wanted to do. But then I've realized that I want more, and this
Yeah.
is not it.
Yes. Yes. I totally agree with you. Same thing. Like the movie industry was my dream job since I was a little girl. That was my wishful thinking. I never thought that I was going to end up working, but I ended up working in the movie
Yeah,
industry. Um, but yeah, like you get to a point in your life where you want more than than what you have right now. So you want more growth. You don't, like, for example, I didn't see myself growing anymore where I was, and that was one of the things, like the type of growth that I want anyways. I didn't see it, so I didn't have that fueling myself anymore, to continue doing that. So I wanted to do something else, something that had a purpose,
yeah,
and what we're doing has a purpose because we are helping other people. And then you can use your teaching skills also on that because you were a teacher. So and that's the other beauty. Like you can bring something to the community. It doesn't matter where you come from because you have something that you can bring, and we can all learn from each other in this community. So we do have, I think, a comment here. Yes, with a Blossom Kumar. She say, "Good to see you, Purna."
thank you so much, Blossom. She is my follower for a long, long time.
Nice.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for the comment. We also have some like emoji from, well, someone put Louis Vuitton. Elson da Costa Kael, Yona Esa, and also Rima Shah. So thank you all for your like and heart emojis and for your comments. Okay,
Thank
so
you
let's
very
dive
much.
in into the questions. All right. So, okay, so Purna, you have worn many hats. So, therapist, teacher, immigrant mom. So, what made you realize it was time to stop just surviving and start creating a life on your terms through digital business?
So, yeah, of course, as I said, I was working as a therapist, I was working as a teacher, I became a mom, I'm a wife, and many more. But we always think that I was always thinking that I deserve more than whatever I'm, getting or doing. And especially after becoming a mom, the perspective of life has totally changed. The priority has changed because, especially, we are vegetarian. My son, he was going to daycare from very young age because I had to go back to work after my maternity leave. And every morning, I was dropping him when he was crying crazy, and he was not eating anything in daycare whole day long. He was staying there for 8 to 9 hours a day without eating food. There were days that he was not at all eating nothing, like no fruits or no milk as well. Of course, they were providing him vegetarian lunch and snacks options, everything, and he was the only vegetarian in the whole center. But still, I'm grateful for Canada. Always, they are always, taking care of each and every individual according to their needs. But somehow, that Canadian kind of vegetarian food, he was not liking that at all. And it's not only food, but he was not kind of trying to adjust in daycare at all. So he was crying all the day long. Every morning, I had to drop him that way. And because I had to, go to my school, I had no time to even, wind up myself, or, I was also very upset every single morning. But then there was a time that I realized that this is it, and I have to, find something. Initially, we thought he is very young, daycare is new for him, teachers are new, and he's doing this. But it was like never ending. He was with the same teachers, with the same classroom, with the same environment, same friends, but he was not, he was struggling a lot over there, and so I was as well. So every morning rushing him, and because he was not eating anything, every morning I was like, eat something. I was trying to, little kind of directly or indirectly pushing him to eat as well, so that, I, for my satisfaction, that okay, at least he ate something, because he need to be there whole day long.
Yeah.
But of course, he was a child, very young, he didn't want to eat, and I was like, eat little bit more, eat little bit more. So like it was a too much pressure for him as well. I felt I have to rush him in the morning as well. He didn't want to wake up. I had to wake him up so early because I have to drop him before I reach to school, and he has to be there compulsory. Even there, I remember there were days he was having fever, he was coughing a lot. Usually young children, they get to sick. If the season
Mhm.
change, they get to sick as well. But he had to be there because I did not have take off, I did not have leaves. And that's how it was going on for almost 3 years. And then I've decided that no. So that was my time that I realized that no, I want to change this, because one day he will be getting older and I will be regretting. And I don't want, that mom guilt was, I'm still having that guilt that I wasted those time. And if I wish I could find this opportunity before. I never had to send him to daycare and, give him those experiences. And because of that, he's still anxious that mama gonna leave me, and he's having that fear even today, that he don't want to leave me. Even when he started going to school, he was crying every morning until now. Like it's just few days that now he's a little confident. But that, that those experiences which he had in his initial days, younger age, which is still bothering to him. And but I'm glad that at least I could change this, in very early age. um, and yeah, whatever, gone is gone, but I'm trying to work on it, and I'm happy, very happy that now I'm having enough time with my son. After school I can be with him. I'm, taking him to the different activities. um, if I'm not taking him activities, that's perfectly fine for me. Not necessarily he should be champion in everything, but my goal is to, be with him, give those quality time which I couldn't give before. So that was the time that I realized that no, not anymore. And I took this decision.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I think a lot of people, will relate to your story. Especially, immigrants' parents, when they come to here, like you mentioned, you don't have family, like back home where you can leave your kids, like to watch them, while you go to work.
I
So
know.
it's difficult, and especially, your kid at a young age is exposed to a new culture that he's not used to.
Yeah.
Um, so it's hard, so I do understand that, and you didn't want to miss any milestones of him. It's like, I interview another guest too from the community, and her priority, just like you, it changed when, because they want to be there for their kids, when they started,
Hmm.
um, working, they're nurses. When they started working as a nurses, it was fine, the two of them, they didn't have that priority. But now that they're starting, they have their family, their priority, like it changes, because they want to be fully present for their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not missing any milestone. So yeah, I do understand that, that your priority changed to that. And like you mentioned also, the growth, on this new online business that allows you to keep growing, as a person. um in the other one, like it kind of becomes, like after a while, when we're doing our profession, it becomes kind of like a routine, like a repetitive things. Like there's no more growth in there anymore, because you already know what you're doing. You might
Yeah.
encounter few things along the way, but that's it. But in this journey, you're always in constant learning and constant growth, because
Yeah.
it's not an easy journey. So it's like ups and downs, so you have to really be, uh, it's like a learning process curve,
It is.
and
It is.
finding yourself along the way too, you know,
Yeah.
an entrepreneur. Okay, so let's move on to the second question for you. Okay, so you mentioned the pain of rushing your son out the door, and missing precious moments. How has this business changed your everyday life as a mom and allow you to reclaim your mornings, your time, and your joy? You kind of touched this a little bit on the previous one, but I don't know if you want to add something else.
Yeah, I have already said many things about this, but as I said, that I was rushing my child a lot every morning before, because I had to reach on time, and before that I had to drop him. Now the mornings has totally changed. That I'm waking up before he wakes up, of course, always, but now I'm having my own routine because I don't have to rush myself as well. So
Mhm.
after getting up, I do my meditation and yoga practice every morning for at least half an hour. Uh, if I have time, then 5-10 more minutes, then I do my gratitude practice at the same time. Then I wake him up slowly, and uh, I can make breakfast for him. That was not even possible before that. I was making, but anything that could, quickly I could make. Now, if on his demand, Mom, I want to eat pancake, I want to eat this, I want to eat that. And sometimes he's like, oh, you made this? I don't want to eat this. I want to eat that one. So I'm like, okay, let me just make it. That was not at all possible with my job because no time.
Mhm.
So that has changed. Plus, every morning we are sitting quietly and having our breakfast, his breakfast and my tea. Whenever he eats, I help him a little bit if he need. I just talk with him. What you're gonna do in school, like that slow mornings, which was never happened before. Then after giving him bath, I drop him. Then I used to, I'm nowadays the weather is good, so I'm going to walk for a while. And then after coming back home, I'm starting working on my business. So I'm having enough time in the morning. During the day, if I have to, make some phone calls, or if I have to, whatever I have to do. Sometimes I want to talk with my mom back home. My son is also not around, so I can talk, and as much long I want to talk, I just do that. So this was just a dream before, because even to talk with parents, I had to wait until weekends. And
Mhm.
sometimes weekends were also passing because everything is on weekend. Going grocery was on weekend, doing laundry was on weekend, spending some time for my son was on weekend. Relaxing myself, that was not an option at all, actually. There was no time to do that. But if I try to do that, if I wanted to do that, I feel like, okay, weekend is coming, I'm gonna do this on weekend. And that's how weekend was jam packed. And actually weekend was even busier than weekdays. So that was a cycle going on and on and on, every week after week. This has changed, that now I can finish errands whenever I want to. So I can free on weekends, I can be with him. After he come back from school, I can be with him. Before it wasn't like that. So there is, now I have time for myself, I have time for him, I have time for my family. At least if even if we are 12,000 kilometers apart, at least I have time to talk with them, which was even not possible that frequently before. So it was always in my mind that I have to call this one, I have to call my friend. And that's how, I have realized that I have lost so many friends, my school friends. Not lost in the sense of, not that we don't have friendship now, but not, they were always like, you are very busy after going to Canada, so you forget us. It's not like that, but I never had a chance to talk. So in 2025, when I was creating my vision board, I literally write down all my friends' names, that I have to call this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. It was a long list that I decided to do at least one call per week, to reconnect with them, to talk with them whenever my son is in school, because that's the time we have a huge time difference between India and Canada. Our morning is their night. So they are free in the evening, in the night, and my son go to school in the morning. So I can be with them. I can talk with them. So this was not at all possible. So I've realized that I have lost so many things while working 9 to 5. Not only, lose the time to be with my son, or not only just to talk with my family, but there are so many tiny small things that I have really didn't do for many years, which I'm trying to do now. And that makes a huge difference from inside
Mhm.
out.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and yeah, you mentioned a lot of things that again, a lot of parents will relate to. One is you mentioned that before you didn't have time to actually prepare, like a nice meal in a way that like it's not like a quick meal, to just to get out because you were uh, short on time, And
Yeah,
the same thing, like the guys that I was telling you about, that was the same thing. They were giving, like breakfast that was not like really good breakfast because they didn't have time. Same, they're like always rushing, to bring the kids, because otherwise they will be late at work. Same as you. So,
yeah,
but now that like you have done your business, now there is time for that. Like you mentioned, now you have
yeah,
that, be able to prepare like a nice breakfast meal, be able to be spending that, breakfast, eating breakfast with your son, and have that mom son time, at the same time when while you're having breakfast. Um, and the other thing, like now you're not in a rush, like before. You have your me time, something that you
yeah,
didn't have before. So you're able to have some me time before, he wakes up, and then in the morning, and then you have your me time, also talking to your parents or friends back home, and then time for doing your business too. So that makes it like a huge difference, um, of what kind of life you were having before, and the type of life that you having now. So it's more of the work life balance that you have now, where you really can take care of yourself, you can take care of your son, you can have that time for him, that before it was like no time. And like before you say, the weekends, that you're supposed to have more time to spend with him, it was like packed, because of course during the week you don't
Yeah.
have time, right? So everything is done on the weekend. So yeah, so thank you for sharing that. All right, so third question for you. So you were skeptical at first, but you did your due diligence, like you watched webinars, you did research, you watched the coaching call, or you went to the coaching calls. So what helped you finally say yes to this opportunity, and what would you tell someone who's still hesitant or afraid that it won't work for them?
Yeah, such a good question. Of course, we all were skeptical. I was really very skeptical. And I was even double skeptical because first was we always think if we see something online, we think it's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think that kind of skepticism is in everyone who is watching us as well. Even though they are watching us every single day, they don't want to trust, because and it's not their fault, because there are so many things which is scam and not real going on these days. So of course I was skeptical that way. The another type of skepticism was my technology skills, because I was very poor uh, in terms of technology. Very means very very poor. I do not um, I was I cannot mention myself that how much I was lack of knowledge about technology. And so when I came across about this opportunity, I was thinking that first of all, even if it's not a scam, but how I would be able to do this, because I don't know how to work on laptop. I
Mm-hmm.
only knew how to deal with children. I only knew how to be with children. I only knew how to play different games with children. I didn't know how to teach children. I was perfectly fine. But how to do something on laptop, I really didn't know. So I was very skeptical. But as we are telling everyone that watch our free webinar, it's a no cost. So I was watching that webinar. Honestly, I did not have time. So people who are saying that I don't have time to watch the webinar, I know there are so many people who are asking me about the business. And when I first thing first, I'm telling them that okay, watch this webinar to learn more. And they're like, can you please tell me what is in the webinar, because I don't have time to watch that webinar. People do not want to watch. So let me explain first of all that how I watched my webinar. When I came across this opportunity and I realized that it's a free webinar, let me just go and register. I registered, and but honestly, I did not have time to watch at that time as well. When I was watching the webinar was after dropping to my son to the daycare. The distance between his daycare and my school was around 10 minutes. So that 10 minutes I was watching while I was driving. And then when I used to finish my work, then again I have to pick him up, that 10 minutes again. So like 20 minutes every day, which was like 5 days. It took me 5 days to finish the whole webinar, because every day I was like just watching a little bit, and that's how I could finish 90 to 100 minutes webinar. And I watched that way. Um, then after watching the webinar, when I came, understand the business, then I thought, okay, let me just do. I need to do more research, and I had to, I went back to the next step ahead and did my research after that as well. But yes, so whoever is saying that I don't have time to watch the webinar, guys, anyways, you are going to washroom. You are not too busy to go to washroom. So when you go to washroom, just watch, utilize that time. Or when you are, taking shower, you can just put it on the speaker and watch at that time. That 5, 10, 15 minutes you can utilize. Or if you are driving or traveling, you can do that. So there is no excuses if you want to really do something. And why you need to watch the webinar, because it's, as I said, it's 90 to 100 minutes long. So what happened is, we are all human beings. We can't tell you everything, and we, no matter how many times they have watched these webinars as well, nobody can tell you like everything which they are covering in 90 to 100 minutes. And the other thing is, the second part of this webinar, people are having like real testimonies. Real people like me and Sandy, they are sharing their experiences. So you can, you are watching us, you are watching other people. Over there, you will get to chance to watch even more people, and that can kind of build your confidence because everyone's story is different.
Mhm.
So that is also a reason that we are pushing you to watch the webinar, and anyways it's free of cost. So doesn't matter. So whoever is still thinking, you know, those fence sitters, or whoever is thinking that it's a scam, or whether I want to do it or not, if I'm not tech savvy, to every one of them, my message is to watch the webinar today. We have live, as Sandy mentioned earlier, we have live webinar today at 8 p.m. EST time. If you can watch at that time, that's perfectly fine. If you cannot watch at that time, you can anytime watch the replay. But watch the webinar and learn exactly, because not all the businesses are for everybody. It may be or may not be for you. But the thing is, until and unless you won't understand what is the business, you will not be able to make your decision. And you cannot just say by listening to our story that it's for you or not. So, yeah, that's all I want to say.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you mentioned, about being skeptical, and I think a lot of people are skeptical, like you mentioned, because there's so many online scam there.
Yeah,
But or sometimes, because they even have been a scam, or they know someone that have been a scam. But in reality, there's um sometimes, we tend to generalize, so like stereotyping, all of them are a scam,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
not. So we need to really, like you mentioned, do your due diligence. And how do you do the due diligence? Well, we like you mentioned, we have a free webinar. It's free. You're not paying anything. It's just free to for you to watch. But just make sure that, like she mentioned, make sure that you make the time to watch it, okay? Because it really explains well how our online business plan works, and you're able to listen to the testimonials from the panelists. So and like you mentioned, if you want to know furthermore in detail about the business, like all the different type of income streams and all that, then you go to the next step, and that's where you're going to find out more in detail, what entitles, our business plan. So
yeah,
but you have to your due diligence. The other thing you mentioned, for people, like you, for example, you thought that you didn't, even though you let's say you were not skeptical, but you were still thinking, I don't have the technical skills, so how am I supposed to do that, and yeah, a lot of people will relate to that, because even they will have self-doubts, also because they don't think that they can do the business because they don't have the knowledge. But reality, like our business, is designed for anyone with zero skills and zero knowledge, because we do have the video-based training that you can do at your own pace. And in addition to that, we also have a global online community support that is there to support you. Like it's 24/7 because we're global, and also you have a mentor and a coach that will guide you along the way. And then whenever you have questions, you can ask in our community communication app, and then someone out there will answer your questions. And so really, if that is what is stopping you from taking this leap of faith, don't let that stop you, because we have people here from 18 years old all the way to 85 doing the business. So if they can do it, so can you. So it's all about taking that leap of faith. Be coachable, be open mindset, and just do your training and show up for your business every day, and you'll be fine. The other thing you mentioned was yeah, well, you mentioned the technical skill. So So for you, okay, so let me ask you that. I know this is not in the question, but once you were inside and you saw how the training was, because you were scared about the technical skills. So how
Yes.
do you build that confidence afterwards, or
Yeah. Because I have realized after unlocking my training, when I was going through, I was realizing slowly that, oh my god, they have mentioned each and every small things, and there were many things that I already knew, and I'm like, wow, this is also their teaching. Wow, how to create our Facebook business page, or how to do, how to even talk with our leads, or how to talk with someone who can join with us. Each and every small things, how to give answers, each and every small things are available in our business training, which is totally video based. And the best part is, it's lifetime access we have. It's not that you are joining and you have that training, and you will not be have you will not be able to see those trainings again. These trainings are lifetime. Yeah, you can anytime can go back and watch, if you kind of lost, or if you kind of don't understand something, how to do it. So that way, slowly I became very confident, and those user friendly training helped me a lot to grow. um, Not only that, our weekly masterminds, live masterminds every Wednesday, that gives me another boost. So whenever we feel like, oh, I cannot do it, and when we listen to people's journey in there, I feel like, oh, if she can do it or he can do it, then definitely I can do it too. So that is another thing. uh, Not on top of that, our mentors and coaches, they are amazing. We have support from our mentor and coach, personal support, whenever we feel like to stuck in the training. Or there were days I remember that I did not understand the training, even I was watching 2 3 times, and then I used to ask my mentor, and she kind of explained to me. Sometimes somebody explained to us, we kind of understand easily than
yeah.
we watch in the video. So that way also she helped me a lot. And of course, we have trainings in many different languages and captions available now. So if you don't know English, or if you are not very good in English, doesn't matter. If you are speaking Spanish, French, Tagalog, we have Arabic, we have training in many different languages available these days. Also, we have captions in different languages. um, if you know Hindi, you can just make your captions in Hindi and watch the whole training and learn. So there is no language barrier or no technology skills barrier to start this business. So you don't need any fancy degree or background. So that way I could gain confidence.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, because it's nice so they can see, from someone who had that as being skeptical, not having that
Yeah.
technology or technical skill, tech savvy, your perspective, from someone from, who got exposed to the online business so they can see, um, how it is, on the inside. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. Okay, so we have arrived to our end of our live. So we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. To our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. Thank you also for all the comments that we have today and for the like emojis. We do have some more here from Sai Kumari Panditi, Jitendra Chauhan, Uwiseye Jean Baptiste, Batsai, sorry, JC Rivera, Duceline Rodriguez, and yeah, Raima Shah. So thank you so much for everyone watching the live with us today, and for all engaging, with your like emojis and your comments. And we also want to say thank you to Poorna for taking some of her time
Thank
today
you
to
so
with us
much.
today, and
My
sharing her journey
pleasure.
and story. Thank you so much. Now, if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, we do have a live webinar every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we have actually one tonight, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So all you have to do is just register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So when you register into our website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. So the first one is to register to the live webinar. That one will take you to a page that will have two buttons. So one for Tuesday and one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. Some
Yeah.
people like to watch more than one webinar just to make sure that, they're real people.
Yeah.
Um, and then the second one is the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend our live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch up the replay of the live webinar. And also, we invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, on the webinar, you're going to find out how our online business plan works. And also, you got the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So, I'm going to go quickly to show you who are going to be the hosts and panelists for tonight's live webinar. So, for tonight's live webinar, we have host. The host is Jay. She's a resigned educator. She's no longer working, so she's doing the business fully. And then we have Zainab, a stay-at-home mom, Happy, a clinical manager. We have Ryan, a nurse and nurse educator. We have Ana Maria, a registered nurse. We have Sakinath, a nurse. Mabel, pediatric hem oncology registered nurse, and Jainat, a former major at Bangladesh Army. So as you see, we have all different walks of life, but they all have something in common, and that is they took that leap of faith to change their lives and their family's life. So if you want to listen to their testimonials, you can listen to them tonight. So all you have to do is just register in any of the websites, and you should be able to listen to them. So for our live webinar, we have subtitles in 5 languages. So the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And for our replay of the live webinar, we have subtitles in several languages. So there you go. So now you know what to do. So if you want to catch up and listen to their stories tonight, all you have to do is just register in any of the websites on the screen. And we'll be happy to send you that invitation. Also, if you have any questions about our online business opportunity, or you want to know more, just put it in the comments or send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have to. Now, we want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and a happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday. So, and a happy and blessed weekend ahead for everyone. And now, so we want to say finally, thank you so much again, Poorna, for being here with us today and taking some time with us, sharing your journey and your experience on the online business. Um,
My pleasure.
Yes. So, so for tomorrow, stay tuned for another episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. So tomorrow we're going to have another topic and another guest. So you get to meet another member of our community who will be sharing with us, their journey, their story. So you get to know them and see, we are globally from around the globe, and we from different walks of life, different ages, but we took that leap of faith because we want a better lifestyle, like Purna mentioned, better work-life balance for her, be more fully present for her kids, so and her family, so and having that me time that she didn't have before. So thank you so much for sharing that, Purna. Okay, so
Thank
thank you
you.
everyone again, and thank you for watching, and God bless you all, and until next episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience. Bye everyone, thank you for